In the late 1970s, something intriguing occurred in a small control room in the United States. On the night of August 15, 1977, astronomer Jerry Emin, who was part of a project listening for space signals in Ohio, detected a radio signal that lasted exactly 72 seconds. It was unlike any other signal ever detected, a transmission that seemed to come from a specific point in the universe, so powerful that Emin circled the data and, without hesitation, wrote "Wow" next to the record. Since then, it has been known as the Wow signal, and even today, more than 40 years later, we still can't explain its origin. This event has become a mystery in the history of the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Could this be the first proof that we're not alone in the universe? The Wow signal had impressive characteristics, particularly its proximity to the so-called hydrogen line, emitted by hydrogen atoms. When an electron in a hydrogen atom transitions from a higher energy level to a lower one, it emits a photon, which is a particle of light, with energy corresponding to the difference between those levels. This energy is perceived as a spectral line at different wavelengths depending on the transition. For example, the Balmer series is emitted by hydrogen atoms in stars and nebulae, while the 21 centimeters line in radio frequency is emitted by neutral hydrogen, found in large quantities in the interstellar medium in galaxies. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, present in virtually all galaxies, stars, and planets. For scientists, it makes sense to imagine that an intelligent extraterrestrial civilization attempting to communicate might use this frequency, as it would be something universally recognizable. However, despite all the efforts made since then, the signal was never detected again, and until now, its origin remains undetermined. Could it be that, for just 72 seconds, we overheard a transmission from a distant alien civilization? At the same time these questions arise, another mystery provokes us. If the universe is vast and ancient, where are all the other intelligent beings? This question has been asked many times, perhaps best framed as the Fermi Paradox. If there are billions of stars in our galaxy and possibly trillions of planets orbiting those stars, why haven't we found life beyond Earth yet? The Drake equation, proposed by astrophysicist Frank Drake, attempts to estimate the number of intelligent civilizations in the galaxy. It takes into account factors like the formation of suitable stars, the emergence of planets, and the likelihood that those planets could develop life. The numbers suggest there should be thousands of advanced civilizations just in the Milky Way. But why, then, have we detected none? This is the central point of the Fermi Paradox, the silence. And this is where a particularly grim hypothesis comes into play, the dark forest hypothesis. Imagine a survival scenario where you are in a dark forest. The biggest mistake you could make would be to make noise or light a fire, as you could attract the attention of predators that also inhabit the forest. To survive, silence is the only safe choice. In the cosmic context, this idea suggests that advanced civilizations prefer to stay hidden. The universe, after all, could be full of dangerous predators. By revealing its presence, a civilization might attract the attention of powerful and hostile enemies, resulting in its own extinction. This theory also suggests that the most advanced civilizations, as they expand throughout the cosmos, may come into conflict with one another. The universe's resources, such as energy and matter, are not infinite, and a predatory civilization might see others as a threat to its own survival. In this scenario, interplanetary and interstellar expansion would become a survival game, where the destruction of competitors would be a measure of self-preservation. As alarming as this hypothesis may seem, it raises a question that should be taken seriously. Is our communication with the universe safe? Since the invention of radio just over 100 years ago, we've been sending signals into space without much consideration of the possible consequences. Programs like SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, are actively searching for signals from other worlds, while our own television, radio, and satellite communications continue to expand across the cosmos. The dark forest hypothesis suggests that this approach could be extremely dangerous. If a predatory civilization is lurking in the universe, intercepting our signals could be enough to locate us and potentially annihilate us. The civilization that sent the WOW signal, if it was indeed a civilization, may have already been destroyed for making that very mistake. The idea that silence is the best form of survival can also be observed on Earth. Many species have evolved to camouflage themselves in their environments to avoid predators. A classic example is chameleons, which change color to blend into their surroundings and evade threats. In the cosmic context, camouflaging might be the key to the survival of civilizations. They could exist in abundance, but remain silent and invisible to avoid any kind of confrontation or attack from hostile civilizations. But what would happen if we ignored these warnings? What if, instead of hiding, we continued our aggressive exploration of space and our active search for intelligent life? Humanity itself has a history of expansion and conflict. The age of exploration, for instance, brought both discovery and destruction. Civilizations encountered by Europeans in the Americas, Africa, and Asia were often decimated or enslaved. In a galactic context, we could find ourselves in a similar position, like an indigenous civilization facing a much more advanced colonizing force, only on a vastly larger scale. The WOW signal might have been our first contact with an extraterrestrial civilization, but it could also have been the last cry of a civilization already destroyed. If we want to avoid that fate, we need to reconsider our approach. The universe may seem vast and empty, but perhaps it's just lying in wait. And those who make noise might attract the kind of attention no one wants. If silence is truly a strategy for cosmic survival, humanity is dangerously exposed. Our radio signals began propagating into the universe in the early 20th century, with the first human transmissions around 1901. These signals, traveling at the speed of light, have now covered roughly 120 light-years from Earth. They continue to spread through space, potentially reaching nearby stars and traveling indefinitely in the vacuum. And while no hostile signal has returned so far, that doesn't mean we are safe. The vastness of the universe, with its incalculable distances, might only mean that any response could take longer than we expect. But do we really want that response? Maybe the true secret of the universe is silence. What appears to be an empty and hostile universe might actually be a dark forest full of silent predators, waiting for the next signal from an unsuspecting prey. And what about you? What do you think of this hypothesis? Leave a comment below if you think we should reconsider how we approach the universe in our search for intelligent life. See you in the next video.